All right, today's adventure finds us in Lindsborg, Kansas. But for our first stop,
We're at Coronado Heights, and you can see the castle behind us.
all right, Carol, why don't you tell us a little bit about this very unique picnic area in central Kansas?
Sure. Coronado Heights is a hill northwest of Lindsborg, and we actually happened upon it because we were going to Lindsborg, but it is allegedly near the place where Francisco Vasquez de Coronado gave up his search for the 7 cities of gold and turned around and went back to Mexico. That's sort of its claim to fame. And then in 1936, this stone shelter that's actually the most unique picnic spot I think I've ever seen was built up on the hill as part of the Works Process Administration.
We did a little research, but sort of misread it and thought the castle was supposed to look like the castle in Stirling.
Castle.
Yeah, Stirling, Scotland, which we've actually been to fairly recently, and it doesn't, so you know, but it's actually not the castle. It's the view from the castle, which is supposed to mimic that. And actually, that is fairly accurate.
I agree.
There's a graveyard just below this castle, just as there is on the Stirling Castle, and just like this, Stirling looks out into some farmland. Found a little bit of a hiking trail here. Have no idea what it goes to.
It's nice and protected down here from the wind.
Yeah. Branch to the right. So we visited this site in mid-December, so you can see everything's kind of gone dormant. I can only imagine in the spring and the summer it must just be really beautiful, nice and green. But on the flip side, not hot, not humid, so it actually made for a really nice day to go for a hike.
Definitely. What was interesting is I was reading up on this, and it says in the summer there are a lot of prairie race runners around the castle, and I didn't know what those were, but they are a type of lizard, so apparently they sort of take over the castle in the summer.
Huh.
Yeah.
So we obviously found a trail and followed it. And basically it is a little hiking trail, so if this is something you're interested in visiting, know that you can hike around it. Now you're basically just hiking around the hill that the little castle's situated on, but it does wind through some wooded areas, mostly prairie, really cool views, farms, farm animals, so we're enjoying ourselves. What do you think, Carol?
It's good. It'll turn out to be a couple miles, it looks like. About 2.5, maybe 3.
Oh, and we seem to be happenstancing upon what looks like the town, I don't know if it's old or not, the town cemetery. I think I'll be respectful and stay out of it, but that is most certainly what it is. All right, well, we're at the bottom, so guess what?
Now we gotta go back up the hill.
All right, see you at the top. Our Main destination was the little town of Lindsborg, which we actually just ended up putting on a different video, and you definitely should check that out. It's pretty cool. But this is a perfect example of making sure that you do a little research to find out what's in the area. And I really regret there was another little kind of roadside attraction, some kind of a hole that the early settlers used, which somehow missed my radar, but at least we were able to see this one. And we didn't even have any idea you could go for a hike. So another good lesson is just always make sure you're well equipped for any kind of scenario.
For sure. It was a fun little hike and we hadn't even planned on it, so it just added to the experience.
So as you can see, this side of the trail is actually heavily wooded. The other side is almost all prairie farmland. So just know that if you decide to come visit, and it's actually way more extensive.
Yeah, than we thought.
There's a lot of little trails you can take off on. It's actually kind of almost impossible to know what the main trail is. So anyways, we didn't come here to do a hike, but it's quickly turning into one, so we're going to make our way back to the car, and then our next stop will be the little town of Lindsborg.
See you there.
All right, we're just coming back to the top from our little side trip on the trails. What'd you think, Carol?
I thought it was fun. It was actually a lot more extensive than I would have expected.
So, is it worth checking out if you happen to be driving through this part of Kansas?
Yeah, I think it's worth stopping by, and we're on our way to Lindsborg, so we'll report back on that, but I think you could package those together.
Arguably one of the most unique picnic spots we've ever seen.
Indeed.
See you in Lindsborg.